Hello me mateys, Vuvi Yaloovie here, and welcome to like a kind of mini guide series where I'm going to be climbing up the ladder with my favourite Pokemon, Alchemy. Now, if you've been watching the past few videos I've been releasing with Mega Audino, me mateys, we've had like a bit of a play with Mega Audino in our Superior Support video. Then we started to think a little bit more about Mega Audino in our Strategic Team Building Guide to build something like a core for Mega Audino. And then last video we were thinking about stopping Fake Out with Vaporeon, and then kind of like just experimenting with moves. We got the meme look of all things. Yes, so in light of today's video theme, just having fun, right? I also wanted to go over the topic of should you switch up your team, right? So like, let's just say we've understood that like, for some reason our Mega Audino core isn't working, right? Snorlax keeps on getting beaten by Mega Crabominable or something. We keep on getting annihilated by Sneasler because we decided to lead in Audino to it for whatever reason. And things just keep on going worse and worse for us. So today's team is going to play around with that idea. It's like, not experiment, emulate, that's the word I'm looking for. Emulate that sort of feeling, right? So this time I'm running a little bit of a weirder set that doesn't focuses on Audino being like a end game situation, right? So if you looked at this team without the items, you wouldn't know what the heck's going on, right? Because Basculegion's on the team with no rain support, right? Well, for this video in particular, I'm going to go with a Choice Scarf Adaptability Female Basculegion. Now, Female Basculegion is a little bit different to Male Basculegion. They just basically swapped around the attacking stats so that special attack is higher than its attacking stat, and for Male Basculegion, it's the physical attack stat that's higher. So with this Basculegion set, I'm going for like a Choice Scarf Surf, so that my Vaporeon will be able to heal up the damage and really just have out the enemy team, right? We're not really worried about like turn 1 speed control, or at least that's the thought anyway. We're trying to make Basculegion seem really all-threatening and powerful, but when in reality I just want Vaporeon on the field and get rid of as many Pokemon as possible so that I can have an Audino and ideally Alchemy finish. And then Meowscarada and then Paldean Tauros as supportive options. Now, Meowscarada is just kind of on the team for whatever because I like Meowscarada. And then we have Tauros. Now this is, I'm not sure if you would want to call this an interesting moveset, but this Tauros that I've built is specifically to make sure, like the idea behind this Tauros is to understand like the speed control, like the speed of the battlefield, I guess. That's what I'm kind of thinking, but I've kind of like just ran max speed for the heck of it. So this Tauros is there for intimidate support. We've got to be careful of King Gambits who like to run Defiant, and then Milotics who like to run competitive. Those two abilities, if you didn't know, whenever a stat drops, so like speed, defense, attack, special attack, then the respective stat for Defiant, it's physical attack, or for competitive, it's special attack. One of these two stats will rise by 2 stages, which is very, very much a detrimental thing if you're going to be running Intimidate. Now, because we're also at Ultra Ball, we're gonna see some tougher opponents who know how their cores work or how their team is trying to function, right? But in my case, I'm just going to go at it, just go into the game, have fun, and we'll see how we do today, me mateys. I suspect that Basculegion is going to be, not countered, but like if we ever encounter, let's just say, another Meowscarada with Choice Scarf, that might be a little bit of a threat to Basculegion. Sucker Punch can be a threat. We see that we could probably just go down to a very solid electric type in, I guess, I don't know if it's in the game. If Electros was in the game, it probably, like Mega Electros, it'd probably do very well against this team. Generally, grass types too will do well, so Mega Meganium and Mega Venusaur, if they choose to run Mega Venusaur, but otherwise Venusaur's a really good answer into this. Superior sets are really good into this because first of all, well, we've only got Icy Wind as our coverage move into grass types, and that's usually for the case if we want Vaporeon to be faster than some of the middling speed tiers. We're also weak to Tailwind setters, so if we come across a Tailwind setter, we might need to consider running Audino so we can get the jump on their Tailwind, because Tailwind essentially doubles the sides, or the user and its allies' speed for 4 turns. Oh, is it 4 or is it 5? It's 4 turns, yeah. And then we'll just have it from there. As long as we understand what our general weaknesses are and what sort of cores we can come to expect that will be a threat to this team. Oh, and Archaludon. Archaludon's a really big threat to this team too. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's actually, yeah, I just realized that's kind of why Tauros is there. I'm really haphazard with these things. Okay, so with that in mind, we're not really gonna concentrate on, like, you know, performance. We just want to see if this team works out for our Audino sort of core, you know. we don't have Snorlax anymore, which is a real crying shame, and we don't have redirection anymore. It's going to be very interesting to see how this works, because this is like a more offensive and then switches to slow, bulky sort of team, right? So this is going to be weird for me. All right, let's see what we come up against. So it's definitely going to be Drought, Sun, Venusaur, with probably Garchomp as a lead option in case if they're afraid of the Tauros, right? I don't think it's going to be that. I think personally they're going to lead, well, it depends, right? If they're going to go for their Sun core, right, they're going to lead Charizard and Venusaur. Otherwise, we could see Charizard and Sneasler, or Charizard and Armarouge. It really does depend. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to say, well, what can you do into my water types? So knowing that, they're probably going to send out Venusaur, right? So what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to try and aim for an Icy Wind. Now, I actually don't know my speed tier going into Chlorophyll Venusaur, so this is going to be very weird for me mateys. I could just lose turn 1 for going so aggressive, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have, Audino. Would Audino be good in this situation? Yeah, why not? And then Palday and Tauros. This is the Blaze breed of Tauros, so it's fighting fire type. It can really hit hard under the sun, so we're going to kind of keep that as an endgame option, and also to kind of mitigate the damage from Garchomp and Sneasler. That's what I'm thinking anyway. I could be completely wrong. They might choose to lead Sneasler and Dragonite for Tailwind. You know, any number of things could happen, but in this rank, I think it's just sticking to what cores do they have that they think that might work. So we're going to see... Oh, no, they didn't want Sneasler and Dragonite. They're going to lead Tailwind. Alright, let's see how we go here. So we're definitely going to expect a fake out from the Sneasler, right? I'm going to use Icy Wind since the Dragonite's probably just going to use Thunderbolt. Knowing that I don't want to be hit with fake out Thunderbolt on the Vaporeon slot, I'm going to use Protect. This won't actually make Vaporeon faster than the Dragonite or the Sneasler because their speed stats so high comparatively. But we do see the fake out from the Sneasler and then probably a Thunderbolt from the Dragonite, right? So we've now said to our opponent, we've got Choice Scarf because we're faster than your no, never mind. We're not faster anymore because Sneasler's now the fastest Pokemon on the field. So I was right. It was a Tailwind lead. Even still, we're not only the Basculegion is threatened in this situation. We're not really that interested. I mean, personally, since we're stuck on Icy Wind, we're not terribly interested in what happens on this turn. The worst thing that can happen to us on this turn is like a Dire Claw that gets sleep on our Vaporeon, or Dragonite decides to use Thunder and they double up into the Vaporeon, because really we're not that worried about what happens to Basculegion. And I think my opponent might understand that on this turn, so they might just double up into the Vaporeon slot. But we're going to see what happens. Get Dire Claw into the Vaporeon. Hopefully we don't get a sleep. Nice work, me mateys. And we're still faster than the Dragonite, so that's nice. We're definitely going to be at the same, not same speed, but now the Dragonite's at regular speed. And Scale Shot, so they do double up into the Vaporeon. Really nice play on their part, although I would probably suggest that until Loaded Dice comes around, Scale Shot might not be the most consistent option. Because in this case, Scale Shots are really... Oh, it's Bright Powder too! No. Oh no, me mateys, we have Bright Powder. Okay, so Vaporeon being very important to my team, I'm actually going to switch into Audino because at this time, I don't want Vaporeon to faint, and I suspect they're going to finish off with their Sun Core, right? So they've led in a way that prevents them from losing the Speed War on turn 1, and so I think they're going to have like their ace in the sleeve in the back. So I'm going to have Audino switch in here for Vaporeon. Even though it might not be the best choice, they might just go with a close combat, and that would probably just win them this turn here, right? So Extreme Speed onto the Vaporeon, and here's probably... Oh, Rock Slide! Oh, very nice. We avoid on the Basculegion, so that's even better. So what's going to happen, we're going to still use Icy Wind, right? We're not terribly worried. At this point, they should understand that we're Choice Scarf on the Basculegion. So ideally what we could have seen, if they noticed we were Choice Scarf, they could have switched in their Charizard and just threatened the Sun. So that means I would have had to switch in my Basculegion, blah, 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 blah. So here's Charizard. They've finally realized that, oh boy, Basculegion's not doing anything in particular, so let's switch in our Tauros because they're no doubt going to Mega their Charizard, and we're kind of just hoping that we can finish off with Basculegion and Vaporeon as a finish. So I'm going to just use a... Let's go to Battle Info and see how slow their Sneasler is. So it's Unburden boosted and under a Tailwind, so it's actually at like +2 speed at the moment, which is really weird, but anyway. I'm going to use Mega Evolve and then Trick Room, because probably a close combat's coming out for me, or a Heat Wave. We're going to see what happens here. Hopefully this works. Let's see, we got Intimidate, so we don't take as much damage on the from the Sneasler. We want to ideally avoid a situation where we get hit by a close combat and an overheat onto the Audino slot. So they've Mega'd their Pokemon. If you didn't know, Megas also operate in speed order, so we know that their Charizard's definitely faster than our Audino, even though we're still using Trick Room. Yeah. Close combat, there we go. So hopefully we're gonna resist. Oh, nah, it's gonna be either if they choose to target the oh, they use Solar Beam! Oh my goodness. Okay, so we kind of called out their Charizard play there. They went full aggressive onto the Basculegion slot, so we're actually really safe on this turn. So we can get up a Trick Room, even though we might be faster on the Tauros slot. Being slower than the Sneasler is very important on this turn, in my opinion. Now that Charizard's the second fastest integral. Anyway, so the idea for me here is just to get rid of the Sneasler. So I'm not going to do anything fancy. I want a Raging Bull into the Sneasler slot, and then I'm just going to Live Q. Because Audino should be the fastest thing now that it's under Trick Room. We should be pretty good going in. So Sneasler's switching out as expected. They want to preserve their Sneasler into this slot, but we've actually read into that. We're going to press Raging Bull into the Venusaur. My opponent probably doesn't realize that this Tauros is a fire type, so that's a little bit of a misplay on their part. However, they do understand that we're probably faster with Tauros, so they do Air Slash and KO us. Very good player on my opponent, so we're going to see a very interesting finish going on from here. In that case, what I might do, we're going to have to very much play a lot carefully on this situation. So they understand. Actually, no, they probably just looked up the typing. My bad. You know. So in that case, what I would probably consider next is not running max speed on Tauros, because in this situation, we lost our prediction because we were running max speed on Tauros, who can be faster than Charizard if Charizard's not running max speed. Very interesting spread from my opponent, and really well done to my opponent for mixing it up with Charizard not being as fast as they probably would like to be, and that really what got them the win on that turn. And they can definitely clutch out the rest of the game just from there. So we're going to keep on using Life Dew. We should be able to get an Ice Beam onto the Venusaur. However, maybe it's not going to be just enough, but I would like to survive. Oh yeah, definitely not enough. That's a very specially defensive Venusaur. So here comes a Weather Ball into the Audino, and more than likely a Giga Drain into the Vaporeon. So here it comes, Giga Drain, and there goes the Vaporeon. So that's probably going to be a win for my opponent, which is very nice work to see that they led a little bit of a different strategy, and very fun to see as well. So we're just going to use Basculegion. We're not too worried about what happens now. Gonna see, let's see what happens, right? So we've got Basculegion. We're not really interested in well, we're not really interested in what happens, I suppose. So what I'm gonna do, because they're probably just going to recover all the damage that we do from Audino, right? We've just lost on the spot, but I want to see how they close out this match. So if they can't close out this match, I'm going to aim a Hydro Pump onto the Charizard, and then just a Hyper Voice, right? No need to be fancy with how we're ending our turn, like how we're ending our game here. Just going on along with the flow, and let's see how they finish off. So Solar Beam into the Basculegion slot, and then most likely a Sludge Bomb from Venusaur to close out the game. Very good work to my opponent for sticking it through and reading into the Pokemon that I've brought into this match. Very good, me mateys. Unfortunately, that will be a loss on our part, but you know, we're enjoying it. We're enjoying it. Oh, it was really fun, that match. We got to see how we could have potentially won that if we were actually slower than the Charizard, but because we're running max speed on our Tauros, we actually found our loss in a situation that we probably could have won from, right? So if we go back into the training spot, our poor trainers just miffed at what happened. So if we go back to the training spot, and if I just look up what Tauros base speed is, right, I just kind of wanted a Tauros set that could ideally prevent as much damage from the physical side of attacking as much as possible, because in case that we come up against another male Basculegion slot, then we might find ourselves in a bit of trouble, even though Tauros isn't exactly the best idea into it. Okay, I'm just gonna look up Tauros's base speed in a moment. Just one moment, me mateys. Okay, so Tauros is actually the same speed as base Charizard at 100. And if I look up Mega Charizard Wise stat, if I do remember correctly, yeah, it's also base 100. So this means that we probably saw a speed tie. Now, a speed tie is very interesting because speed tie means that you're going to... It's a 50-50% chance on who moves first in that turn. Really inconsistent or something, you know. we might find that we're either going to be in a worse spot or a bad, or in a good spot. It's really up to the game to decide. And if they were running Modest Charizard, then they were going to be always faster in Trick Room. So what I'm going to do with my Tauros, I'm going to make mine an Adamant Tauros. That way we can identify whether or not we're going to be just faster or just slower. So what, okay, that's going to sound really confusing, but here we go. Not Modest, I mean Adamant. Okay, so we're going to run one less speed than max speed, right? This is so that we're always going to be slower than a max speed Adamant Tauros or max speed Modest Charizard. So this is, yeah, very interesting stuff here, I guess you could say. Very cool for my opponent to win out on that turn. So I'm gonna switch up the nature, see how we go for the next match. We might find that because like what just happened there, it's just we're going to encounter an opponent who's like running max speed Charizard when we ideally don't want to have Trick Room up or whatever. Very cool to see, and we're just going to get into the next battles as soon as I finish my mission clearing. Alright, me mateys, I'm back. And you can start to see how the Ultra Ball rank is going just from this sort of battle. We know that we can either see people who are throwing what sticks onto the wall, or people who know what they're doing, but just find it a little bit difficult to proceed through Ultra Ball rank. And that's really what Ultra Ball rank is, right? And so for this team, we see another Sun team with a potential Trick Room option from Fruitdraff and Torkoal. So what's likely going to happen in this match, because they understand that Charizard's so powerful under the sun, we might see a Torkoal and probably Incineroar lead, but they don't really have a reason to run Incineroar into two water types and a fire type, right? We could see Incineroar, we could not. I'm suspecting it's going to be Venusaur and Torkoal, maybe? Nah, that's not likely, is it? It could be just Tailwind, Whimsicott, but I'm suspecting it's going to be Torkoal and a friend. So let's see if they want to use Trick Room on that Whimsicott, because I think it gets both Tailwind and Trick Room. I can't remember. Anyway, so we're going to go with the same strategy because I know it can work. We just fumbled in our speed stats before. So now that we know that we can be definitely slower than a max speed Modest or timid Charizard, we should be able to get this off a little bit, just a little bit better. Unless if they know what we're going, like, unless if they know that Basculegion typically runs max Swift Swim, like, they see the Basculegion, right, and it's going to be, they're probably thinking, oh, do we have a way to set up rain? No, probably not, but they see the Audino and like, oh my god, Audino's on the team. So here's Whimsicott and Incineroar. I think they made the mistake of not thinking that this Basculegion female is a special attacker, so the Intimidate won't actually do that much to us. But this is a very passive lead from my opponent, which is really nice. I think they might want to set up Sunny Day or use a grass move to surprise me, right? So in respect for that, I'm going to go for Surf and then just playing Ice Beam onto the Whimsicott. It could also be Tailwind Whimsicott, which is fine too. We're going to really respect the fact that they're going to go for Fake Out, so I'm going to recover all that damage with Surf next turn. or at least the turn after. So let's go for an Ice Beam. We're definitely expecting a Fake Out, so there's the Fake Out. But Basculegion is a Ghost type, so my opponent didn't quite look at the typings there. So Sunny Day from the Whimsicott here, very good. We're gonna see that Surf will do even less damage to the Whimsicott and do a respectable amount of damage into the Incineroar. Not quite enough, but you know, it's nice damage. Alright, so now that we're going to see an Ice Beam, they've used their really passive play here, and now Whimsicott is at such low HP that we don't really need to worry about it, because what they're going to do here, they're going to switch out into, say, Venusaur on the Whimsicott slot, and they're probably just going to use Darkest Lariat or Parting Shot on the Incineroar. So really, they're still playing passively, so we don't need to worry about what happens here. I'm going to continue Ice Beaming the... Actually, because they're faster on the Incineroar slot, they might just switch out the Incineroar while letting Whimsicott go down to a free switch-in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use an Ice Beam very weirdly into the Incineroar slot, thinking that they might switch. A really predictive turn on my part here. So there's Tailwind, so they're not really worried about what happens to Whimsicott, right? We can feint them, that's okay. So we're stuck into Surf, we have to feint the Whimsicott anyway. Not really a big deal here. So they didn't switch out the Incineroar, but here comes a Parting Shot, no doubt, into the Whimsicott. Now this allows them to get a good switch without taking any damage onto the Whimsicott's slot. So they use Parting Shot onto the Basculegion, but what they don't know is that Basculegion is not the threat that they should be worried about. Basculegion can do a lot of damage, but it's really going to be the Venusaur. So my Ice Beam prediction was correct. I was good to use Ice Beam into the Incineroar, reading that they might use a Parting Shot into us. Now, we come up across a little bit of a problem. Now they're going to send in... Oh, Incineroar again. That tells me that they probably just want to save Charizard for when Sun goes down. So what we're going to find... Who does the Venusaur want to target here? Well, we both got a lot of HP on Basculegion and the Vaporeon, right? We're going to see how we do into this. What I might do, actually, I might switch out into Paldean Tauros here, right? And then we can protect our Vaporeon just to see what they're going for, right? Because Paldean Tauros resist everything but poison on this field, right? So this is a really safe play on my part, but it's kind of just to see what they're going to go for, right? So here comes Intimidate. We're not too worried about what Tauros is doing. We just want Vaporeon to survive, I suppose. So let's see what they go for. Fake Out into the Vaporeon so they can no doubt get a Giga Drain onto it, so to prevent any more damage. Oh, never mind, they just go for the Tauros slot, or the Basculegion slot, yes. So now they're still going to be faster on the Venusaur because they have Chlorophyll and Tailwind. We don't really need Trick Room in this situation because we have the type advantage, but no doubt they're going to target the Vaporeon now that it's used Protect, right? So, what I'm going to do now would be an interesting time to switch into Audino, because now that we've clearly wasted our Protect on preventing Fake Out, we'll just go into the Audino anyway. See what happens, you know. Energy Ball, so I was correct in switching into Audino, nice play from me. Darkest Lariat into the Audino slot 2. They really wanted to take down Audino. So here's a Raging Bull. Raging Bull is the same type as the secondary type of the Tauros. Unless if there's no secondary typing, in which case it is just a fighting move. So there goes their Venusaur, and likely it's Charizard who comes out. So what's going to happen here? They might not want to Mega the Charizard, so they might just go for a Protect on this turn. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use Rock Slide, just really make sure that the Incineroar hopefully maybe gets flinched, but we might not outspeed it anyway, so really It doesn't really matter what happens to the Tauros since it's weak to the Charizard, but we're just going to go for it anyway. Actually, yeah, we're just going to go for it anyway in case they make a mistake on their Protect play. And then we're going to Mega Audino and Life Dew because they're probably just going to Parting Shot the Tauros or Darkest Lariat the Audino, or even Flare Blitz. It just depends on what they have as a moveset, right? Okay, so this is like a little bit of a misplay on their part. They could have extended their Sun turns by reserving their Mega Charizard, right? We're going to see what they do with it though. They're probably just going to use Overheat or Flamethrower, even Heat Wave. We could definitely see an Air Slash here though, right? So it's going to be Air Slash. We're going to have a... Oh, Heat Wave, never mind. Heat Wave will KO the Tauros, my goodness. Oh, critical hit. Okay, so if that wasn't a critical hit, Tauros could have survived, but that's okay. We don't worry about that, me mateys. So, double KO. So it's really nice that they actually double KO'd us, because now I do believe their Tailwind's out, and we can start Surf spamming again, and have our damage reinstated with Basculegion and Vaporeon. So kind of like what I was alluding to, we wanted a kind of situation where we can get as much damage as possible with Vaporeon and Basculegion. It didn't quite go as to plan. We needed to get into a board state where we can feasibly have these two not be threatened by Venusaur, I guess you could say. So now that we've got two fire types on the field, I'm not particularly threatened by anything but Solar Beam. So to respect their Solar Beam option, I'm going to protect the Vaporeon, right? Just in case if they do decide to Solar Beam, or... You know what? I'm not worried about Solar Beam. Let's go, me mateys. Let's get rid of the Charizard first. So Tailwind's out, so we're no doubt faster than the Incineroar, unless if they're running max speed on the Incineroar. If they are, they will be faster than the Vaporeon, but they're not going to be faster than the Charizard. So, or the Basculegion, who's running Choice Scarf. So Incineroar goes down like a bucket of bolts. There's Air Slash. Charizard can't really do that much into this field, and we will secure our first victory of the video, me mateys. Very good work, Vaporeon and Basculegion. So, we're kind of just having fun with it. We're kind of just experimenting, right? Kind of in the same light as last video, but, you know, in a more fun, casual way. Looking at Basculegion and Vaporeon, we can see that these two as a core kind of really work together. We're just worried about Venusaur, who's the most prominent grass type, and Meganium. Now let's see if we come across one in this match. Okay, oh no, Komo-o, oh no. I don't know if that's how you pronounce, by the way, but this looks to be Rock Slide from Mega Aerodactyl, or just Aerodactyl itself. This team not really equipped to deal with it. So we got Follow Me support from the Mousehold, and we've got like Chalodon without like Rain, I suppose. But I think the Mousehold might learn Rain Dance, or it could be Rotom too. But like, in situations like these where you don't really know what to expect, just go with your core and see what they lead with, right? So here's Basculegion and here's Audino. What can you do to it, right? They're probably going to lead Rotom, suspecting that we're leading Basculegion, right? They're not probably sure on who they should have next. So they're probably just going to go for their safe options, being Chaludon and Friend, and Komo-o, since that's really like the weird choice on their team. I'm a little bit worried about their Chaludon, but not as much as I should be. So I'm just going to lead my two fairy types in the back. We could see them utterly obliterating us on this match, but I just want to see how it goes. I'm just playing here just to have a little bit of fun and see how we go in our matches as we climb up into Master Ball rank very slowly. So let's see how we go. Mousehold and Aerodactyl. Interesting. So it could be a Mega Aerodactyl angle, but we've led in a way that, Unnerve. That's going to really affect their Vaporeon slot if we're not careful. I forget what Mega Aerodactyl's ability is. I think it was Tough Claws, if I'm not mistaken. But however, we're not worried about Mouse Hold because we got Surf on the Basculegion. So what we're going to do, they're probably going to go for like a Follow Me Rock Slide, right? Or Follow Me Mega Aerodactyl, or Follow Me into passive play to switch into their Rotom. So I'm just going to use Scald into the Aerodactyl, knowing that they might use Follow Me. Always important to target the Pokemon you'd ideally like to target, just in case if they misplay and do not use Follow Me, right? So here comes a Surf from the Basculegion. Gonna hit both opponents, won't get affected by Follow Me anytime soon. There goes the... Ooh, that was a lot of damage though. So that's because of Friend Guard, right? Friend Guard prevents 25% of the incoming damage to opponents, to allies, I mean. So their Aerodactyl no doubt survived because of Friend Guard. Mouse Hold goes down, but they've got Tailwind up, so thinking about it logically, I probably should have had Audino as a potential lead option, just so they could not think about using Tailwind, because in the higher ranks, people love their speed control. Let's see what we're going to work up against here. So I'm not sure if Aerodactyl gets Rain Dance for whatever reason, but we could see an Electro Shot into the Vaporeon slot. I don't think we're faster than Aerodactyl under Tailwind, but we might be faster than Archaludon. So I'm just going to keep on going with Surf. They need to show me that they are capable of taking out our team, and we're probably going to just see a switch from the Aerodactyl slot. So actually, what I might do, I might just switch in Vaporeon because they probably want to preserve the Aerodactyl. I'm going to switch out Vaporeon into Audino so I can get a Trick Room right. They might see through this and double up into the Vaporeon slot, but we're going to see what happens. We're using Surf into Audino, which does feel a little bit bad, but we're going to see how this plays out, right? We're going to see how this plays out. Mega Aerodactyl, so no doubt that's faster. Here's a Rock Slide. Who misses? Audino avoids, so that's really nice for us because we kind of just went with the flow there. Let's see what we got. Thunderbolt, oh, very nice. So we do read their attack on the Vaporeon slot. However, we're going to take a bit of damage from Surf, but we do take down their Mega option, which was the ideal situation. Stamina activates. That's going to affect our Paldean Tauros a lot, so we want to consider that going forward when we're using Basculegion. So we might see... Oh, Rotom. Okay, so we're in a bit of a sticky wick here because Basculegion's stuck onto Surf, and we can't really switch into anything on our side of the field. So what I'm going to do, because they now have Rotom on the field, I think it's a really good time to switch in. Actually, I think it's a good time to switch in Vaporeon here because they're still going to use an electric move on us, right? But we're kind of not... I'm worried about it, okay? I'm worried about it. Let's go for a Trick Room just in case if they decide to not target the Basculegion for whatever reason. They're still going to try and use Thunderbolt on the right. We're going to take a lot of damage from that, but because there's no Power Herb, we're also not worried from like a double up into the Vaporeon slot. It's most likely going to be Flash Cannon, which would be really good in this situation. Or, oh, Volt Switch. Very good, very good. We probably would have seen a KO if they had something like Thunderbolt and a High Roll, right? Thunderbolt from the Archaludon. Not quite enough because it's not its own typing, right? It's not Stab, same type attack bonus. My goodness me, mateys, I can't talk to save my life. So now that we have Trick Room up, the speed order is now reversed, and well, yep, now we can feasibly just not worry about what happens to Vaporeon here. So I'm going to go for an Ice Beam onto the Archaludon. We might fear a little bit of Body Press. I don't actually have Paldean Tauros here, but I want to recover as much damage on the Audino because... actually, no, they might just go for a Flash Cannon onto the Audino, right? So I'm just gonna Dazzling Gleam too. Okay, good damage, good damage. We're not too worried about how much damage the Audino does, just that we're trying to get damage onto the Chaludon. So they can feasibly just KO both our Pokemon here. We're aiming for an Alchemy finish, and Alchemy is going to be the one to carry us into the finish here. At least that's what I'm thinking anyway. They could totally KO us with like a critical hit Thunderbolt or Hydro Pump, right? But considering they went Volt Switch again, which kind of makes me think they're either Choice Scarfed on the Rotom because it moves slower than the Chaludon, which is really weird, but it's probably just Choice Scarf, right? So they're locked into Volt Switch probably. They could be faking us out, right? They could be bluffing us, saying, we're stuck on Volt Switch, but surprise, we actually have Hydro Pump that we can potentially KO your Alchemy with. So, now that we have Basculegion, who's no doubt the slowest thing on the field, we're going to see a KO into it, unless if they fumble for whatever reason. But I have faith in Alchemy. I know that Alchemy will probably just get the KO on Chaludon without Calm Mind in. Because Chaludon is a Steel and Dragon type. Oh, they do use Protect to stall out the Trick Room turn. They probably just want to see what we're going for on the Basculegion slot or the Alchemy slot too. Oh, there goes Rotom's HP. A critical hit, that kind of mattered. That definitely mattered in... Oh, so it's definitely Choice Scarf on the Rotom because we were actually slower than it in outside of Trick Room. And because we move faster than the Rotom in Trick Room, that means we're slower. Because they definitely had Choice Scarf. Okay, the main point is they had Choice Scarf on that Rotom for whatever reason. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh no, wait. Do they have no Tailwind? Okay, I'm confusing myself, me mateys. So we will see a glorious win for Alchemy, me mateys. Very good. Alchemy gets the final say of the day. Very good, me mateys. Goodbye, Chaludon. Nice knowing you, but Alchemy is superior to you, and don't you forget that. Good games to my opponents here. Because we're at the 40-minute mark, I think I'll end it there. 3 games is really nice, right? Alchemy taking home the bacon here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have this as a Vaporeon video because I really like Vaporeon, and Basculegion's kind of just like supporting Vaporeon. You know what I mean? Oh dear, me mateys, oh dear. So, I know we're kind of going into like the more insightful commentary and also kind of for fun too. I don't know what to say, me mateys. I'm just having fun out here. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, so hopefully you can get like a little bit of an idea, just a teeny bit of an idea of like the general mindset you can be going into. And the very last thing the very last thing I want to impart onto you guys before we like move on from this guide series is just enjoy the game, have fun, and no matter what happens, as long as you're like vaguely understanding why things are happening the way they are, it should be more enjoyable to play the game as you progress through, right? It's Pokemon, weird shenanigans are going to happen, like a critical hit on our Basculegion, or critical hits on their opposing team, or even just knowing that we got undersped on Tauros for whatever reason on the Charizard. We lost that speed tie, right? Or we actually won the speed tie if we were in Trick Room. So yeah, very interesting, very fun stuff overall, me mateys. And then we saw an Alchemy finish today. We got to use Alchemy. Alright, that's what I'm talking about. Now, if only we could use like a whole team of Alchemies, then I'd be a little bit more happy. Or if we could, introduce Dynamax. Oh yeah. Anyway, that's for like later. So when you're changing up your team and you find that, like, okay, so we've actually found more success with, let's just say in this example, we found more success with Basculegion and Vaporeon, right? Okay, great. Now, do you want to continue with it? Are you happy with are you more happy with the wins, or would you like to try at the same outcome with, let's just say, me going for Volcarona instead of Basculegion, right? And, well, realistically, that answer depends on you. What do you enjoy? Because what I'm probably going to do from here on out, I really like playing with screens, and I've been waiting for a cleft key to come along all this time, and now that I've finally got one, I could probably also use Meowstic. We'll see how that goes, but like, now that I have screens, might see it, might not see it. I kind of want to keep on going with Volcarona and Audino, and maybe Snorlax? Maybe? I don't know. We'll see how we go anyway. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I had. I think, yep. I mean, if I try to say anything else, we'd probably all get confused into Oblivion again. Oh, I've got Meganium! I don't quite have Mega Meganium just yet, but once I do get it, I'll be sure to make a video on that too. Probably not today, probably not tomorrow, but like, it's coming, right? Alright, me mateys. So that will be it for this video, me mateys. I hope you enjoyed this little mini guide series I've been doing, and hope it sort of builds like a starting foundation to your fundamentals in Pokemon that you can probably use as like a reference, or even just adhere to it, or even just enjoy me as a person through the screen telling you, hey, this is a way that you could play Pokemon, right? We're all enjoying Pokemon. It's still a very new game, so I implore you, if you're really considering going into Pokemon Champions, but you haven't never played Pokemon before, or you're like always been playing the mainline games, like you like Scarlet and Violet, but never really considered VGC or whatever. If you like the battling aspect of it, I highly suggest getting into it now. But because Pokemon Champions is still new, and if we go into the battle screen here, we see that the season ends in 27 days, right? Now, this will usually mean that different Pokemon will be available. Well, because as of recording, this is still Season 1 or Season 0, really. The Pokemon that are available now will probably be the most simplest to understand, right? Because we don't have access to Life Orb yet that can really mess around with damage values. We don't have access to Choice Specs, which can further mess with damage values, and we don't have access to some of the other items in the game, right? And especially before they introduce legendaries into Pokemon Champions, it's a really good time to start Pokemon Champions. And you know, if you have the mainline series games, I'd probably suggest just importing your favorite Pokemon from home and then just having a play with them online, right? Because the best thing you can do, in my opinion, basically go into ranked or casual, whichever you prefer, right? And then just get that experience against human opponents. That's really the most beneficial thing that you can do to yourself if you're thinking about battling in Pokemon Champions, right? Okay, that will be the end of this video, me mateys. Oh, just keep an eye on like the time below, I suppose. Anyway. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Oh boy. I will see you in the next video. Ta and ta-ta.